Today, I'm going to give you the exact questions to ask a bank or a financial lending institution before you decide to open up an account with them or apply for credit. Now, these questions are going to help you identify if this is a bank that you should be doing business with and if this is a bank that you should invest your time or resources with altogether. These questions are specifically designed for you to know on whether or not you should do business with the bank. So before you open a business bank account and before you start to apply for business credit, check this video out first. Now, I don't know about you, but I value my time, and time to me is precious. There's nothing worse than getting ready, stepping into your car, driving to a bank, waiting in line, getting called by a banker, filling out a bunch of pointless paperwork, applying for a bunch of products that you probably don't need or use. All of that just to find out that the bank isn't going to approve you for any business credit lines, or flat out, they don't want to work with your type of business anyways. So when I'm dealing with the bank, these are two things that I want to know out of the gate. Will I get access to credit lines here? And will you work with my type of business? So the first question that I'd like to ask is, what does your lending portfolio consist of? This is going to give you insight on their tendencies and who they typically want to work with. I want to know immediately, is my business inside of their wheelhouse of who they specialize in? Because if it's not, then again, you're wasting your time and you're wasting their time. And so you're drawing out a 90-day process from the moment that you open an account. You have to wait, and then you potentially want to apply for a credit line to then find out, hey, yeah, we don't actually work with your type of business. I don't know about you, but time is precious. And so because of that, I always like to lead off with that question as soon as I'm dealing with a bank or a financial institution. Now, the second question is one that doesn't get asked enough by the business owner, but it is an absolutely powerful one. How often can we review the LLC's credit account and discuss its performance? Because one of the things that we're always telling our clients is getting access to business credit and scaling that funding is not going to be a one-time occurrence. Here's what that means. If you have a business right now that's making $25,000 a month, and over the next 3 months, you're now at 50K, guess what? You have a 100% bump in gross revenue. Yay, that's a good thing. But what's not good is that your bank potentially doesn't know about that bump in revenue. And so one of the most effective ways that you can scale the funding is by having those reviews with that bank, letting them know, hey, we've been able to drive down our cost of labor, or hey, we've been able to find a new supplier, so now it costs us half the amount that it used to the same time 3 months ago, and I'm actually able to charge more for my same service. And so now we're in a far better funding position than we were 90 days ago, but they're not gonna know that unless you vocalize that to them and you have the stats to back it up. And so this is one of the things that I personally like to focus on, because again, getting funding isn't a one-time occurrence. And so what was working for you with 25K, you maybe need double or triple that amount, but you're not going to get that unless you follow this framework and you're asking the proper questions that's going to yield the results that you want. Because this question alone is going to help you and the bank get focused on the clear outcome that you're trying to achieve with the credit that you're looking to get from them. And so they're going to say, okay, they're growing off of the capital that we're giving them. So let's continue to feed this partnership that we have, since you're a business, they're making more money, you're making more money, and let's make money together. The third type of question that I like to ask is, what type of funding options do you have available for my line of work? This is going to help you learn about the various business loan options, business lines of credit, interest rates, and repayment terms that bank offers. Because here's the thing, the same way that all businesses aren't created equal, neither are banks. And so we actually had two types of clients that we were recently working with. One of them was in e-commerce and the other one was in real estate. Now, if you know anything about e-commerce, then you know that just about any type of working capital is going to help that business, whether it's a business line of credit, a business credit card, or a business loan, because they just need to have something that they can swipe, buy products, sell at arbitrage, make a profit, and continue to turn that wheel, right? But on the real estate side, it's a little bit different because you can't necessarily just swipe for a piece of property. I wish it were like that, but it's not. And so over on the real estate side, you need to have what's called liquid capital available, or real cash value. This means that you have funds available in the account that you can withdraw from and maybe send it off to escrow to make a purchase on a property, get a down payment going, or purchase the property outright. You can't necessarily do that with a business credit card. And so if maybe you're in the real estate space and you see that all that bank has to offer is maybe 0% interest business credit cards, fantastic. For the e-commerce, but not so good for the real estate side. So if I'm leaning on a business like real estate or construction, I'm going to want to see products like term loans and business lines of credit, because this is going to allow me to use those funds to purchase projects and use those funds to cover things like payroll that I couldn't necessarily do with the business credit card. The fourth question I'm going to ask is, what type of accounts do you offer for my LLC? Understanding the range of business accounts available can help you choose the one that best fits your business needs. And taking it a step further, if that account is linked to my business line of credit and is linked to maybe a business credit card, some banks are going to allow you to liquidate some of those funds directly into that account so that you can now use the cash that's available within that account to fund things like projects. But this is why it's an important question to ask, because not every bank is going to offer that type of option for you. So if that's something that you're looking for, this is especially a question that I'm going to be asking on the front end when I'm meeting up with a banker. Now, the fifth and final question that I'm asking is, what criteria do you use to evaluate business loan applications? This is going to allow you to gain insight into the factors that the banks consider when they're reviewing and approving your business application. So whether it's a business loan, a business line of credit, or a business credit card, this is going to help you understand the application process, so the required documents and typically the timeline for the approvals and how soon you can expect to receive those funds inside of your account. And then I also want to know, hey, do I need to show things like personal tax returns, business tax returns? Do you guys need to see P&Ls? And if so, what products do you need to see that for? Because the same way that if there's a bank that I'm able to get maybe a business line of credit for, even if it's capped out at 50K, and all I have to show is maybe 1 year of tax returns, because maybe I'm not in a position right now where I can show 2 years, because maybe 3 years back I was taking a bit more losses, I may want to take that route because it's going to increase my approval odds versus having to maybe go to a bank where they're going to want to see profit and loss statements, 3 years of tax returns, my profit and loss statement, and then how many pets I own, right? It's just way too many hoops to jump through. So you always want to play to your strongest hand. Now, side note to that is, if you do have, and I tell my clients this all the time, if you do have that muscle that you can flex where you've been reporting a strong profit in your business, you haven't been taking much losses, right? Like you're still operating at a profit and you're able to re-add some of that depreciation that you've maybe taken, then 100% flex that tax return muscle, because it's going to help you increase the amount of funding that you get. I've seen clients increase anywhere between a 50 to 120% increase just off of showing that one piece of paper. Hey, here's my profit and loss. Hey, here's my tax return from last year. Bam, an extra 50K, an extra 70K, an extra 100K just off of that one piece of paper. So again, those are 5 questions that I would seriously be asking if I'm looking to get funding this year. If you found value in this content, it would mean a lot to us if you consider sharing it with an entrepreneur who's looking to scale their business this year. It's how we've been growing our channel, which has been complete word of mouth. We appreciate each and every single one of you that's been tuning in with us every single video. But until next time, everyone, we will see you in the next video.